On February 1st, 1959, 9 experienced hikers disappeared into the frozen mountains of the Soviet Union, never to return alive. Weeks later, rescuers discovered their abandoned tent. But what they found would become one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries.
The tent had been slashed open from the inside. From the inside. The hikers fled into the freezing darkness, barefoot, without coats, leaving everything behind.
Some were found beneath a lonely cedar tree. Others lay scattered across the mountain, as if trying desperately to return.
Several victims suffered massive internal injuries, yet showed almost no external wounds. One victim was missing her tongue. Another had crushed ribs. None of it made sense. For more than 60 years, scientists, investigators, and conspiracy theorists have searched for the truth. Was it an avalanche? Secret military testing? A rare weather phenomenon? Or something no one has ever explained?
Before we explore the theories, we must first understand who these 9 hikers really were.
Their leader was 23-year-old Igor Dyatlov. He was an experienced engineering student and skilled mountaineer. None of them knew that this journey would become one of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries. It was January 1959. 10 young hikers left Sverdlovsk, full of excitement. These weren't beginners. They were experienced mountaineers. These weren't beginners. Every member of the team had completed difficult mountain expeditions before. Their leader, Igor Dyatlov, carefully planned every detail of the expedition.
Originally, there were 10 hikers, but before reaching the mountain, one member became ill and turned back. That decision unknowingly saved his life. He would become the only survivor of the expedition.
The remaining 9 continued deeper into the frozen wilderness, surrounded by endless forests and silent mountains. Temperatures dropped below -30.
Temperatures dropped below -30 degrees Celsius. Every step became a battle against nature itself.
Yet their journals told a different story. They laughed, took photographs, and joked with each other.
No fear, no panic. Nothing suggested the nightmare that was about to unfold. On February 1st, they reached the eastern slope of Kholat Shachel.
The mountain's name, in the local Mansi language, is often translated as Dead Mountain. That evening, they pitched their tent on the exposed mountainside. It would be the last camp they ever made. What happened after sunset remains one of history's greatest mysteries.
Days passed, and the hikers never returned. When rescues finally reached the campsite, they found something no one expected.
February 12, 1959. That was the day the hikers were supposed to send a telegram confirming their safe return. But no message ever arrived. At first, nobody panicked. Experienced mountaineers often returned later than planned because of bad weather.
But as the days passed, concern turned into fear. Volunteer students, experienced climbers, soldiers, and even aircraft joined the search operation.
Then, on February 26th, searchers found the abandoned campsite. At first glance, everything looked strangely normal.
Food was still inside the tent. Warm clothing had been left behind. Cameras, diaries, everything remained. But then investigators noticed something impossible.
The tent had been cut open from the inside. Why would experienced hikers escape into a deadly blizzard instead of using the entrance?
The answers only became more disturbing when rescuers followed the footprints leading away from the tent.
The footprints suggested the group had walked away, not run. Some prints appeared to have been made by people wearing socks, or even barefoot.
Nearly 1.5 kilometers from the tent, beneath a giant cedar tree, rescuers found the first 2 bodies. A small fire had been built beneath the tree, suggesting they had desperately tried to survive the freezing night.
Between the cedar tree and the abandoned tent, 3 more hikers were discovered. It looked as though they had been trying to make their way back, but never made it.
Months later, when the snow finally melted, rescuers made one final discovery. 4 more bodies were hidden beneath the snow, and the injuries they carried would make this mystery even more terrifying. Nearly 2 months later, as the snow slowly began to melt, rescuers returned to the mountain one final time. Hidden beneath almost 4 meters of snow, they discovered the remaining 4 hikers. But this time, investigators noticed something deeply disturbing. Several victims had severe internal injuries, powerful enough to fracture ribs and skulls, yet there were very few external wounds. Some experts compared the force to that of a major vehicle collision, while others believed the snow itself could have generated immense pressure under rare conditions. One victim's soft tissue damage led to decades of speculation. However, investigators noted that natural decomposition and scavenging animals may explain parts of these injuries. Then another unexpected detail appeared in the investigation. Tests found small traces of radioactive contamination on some clothing. To this day, researchers continue debating how significant those findings actually were. Local residents also reported seeing mysterious glowing lights in the night sky during the same period. Were these military flares, natural atmospheric phenomena, or simply unrelated observations? No definitive evidence has answered that question. As each new clue emerged, the mystery only grew deeper. Instead of one clear explanation, investigators were left with many possibilities. More than 60 years later, one question still remains. What really happened on that freezing night? To answer that, we must examine every major theory, and the evidence behind each one.
For decades, investigators, scientists, and researchers have searched for a single answer. But perhaps the greatest mystery of Dyatlov's is that no theory explains every detail. The most widely accepted explanation today is an avalanche, or a smaller snow slab collapse. According to this theory, a dangerous buildup of snow may have threatened the tent, forcing the hikers to escape immediately into the darkness.
In freezing temperatures, even a small mistake can quickly become fatal.
Another theory points to powerful mountain winds. Under rare conditions, these winds can create terrifying sounds and overwhelming pressure. Others believe secret military testing may have taken place nearby. However, no conclusive evidence has ever confirmed that claim. Over time, UFO stories, paranormal explanations, and countless conspiracy theories emerged, yet none have been supported by reliable evidence.
In 2019 and 2020, modern investigations concluded that an avalanche-related event remains the most likely explanation.
Yet even today, some questions remain unanswered. Why did they travel so far from the tent? Why were some injuries so unusual? And what exactly happened during those final moments? Perhaps the mountain holds secrets that will never be fully revealed. Perhaps the truth vanished with the storm itself. 9 hikers set out on an adventure. Only one returned. And more than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass Incident remains one of the most haunting mysteries in modern history. What do you think happened on that freezing night in 1959? Was it nature, human error, or something we still don't understand? Let us know in the comments.